Hey everybody, it is August 20th. Still insanely crazy 2020. Here we go. This article is out of courts, and I think it's very, very relevant to what's going on right now. Check this out. It says, no jab, no pay. Nice, right? Australia won't be the last country to wrestle with a mandatory CV vax. Yep, you're darn right they won't be. But listen to this. I mean, this part really just was, the first part of it was just like, yep, here you go. This is what their entire motivation, their entire, plan has always been. Mandatory CV vax makes cold, logical sense. At least 70% of the population needs to be inoculated to create herd immunity, and governments could easily achieve that rate of coverage if they demand vaxes for all. It says, Australia discovered the pitfalls of this rationale after Prime Minister Scott Morrison announced a CV vax would be as mandatory as you could possibly make it earlier this week. The policy, which granted exemptions on medical grounds, that was it, and they were so small, okay, was backed by Minister for Industry, Science, and Technology. Okay, I have to stop here because I'm not going to pay these people for their story, okay? But we will go to where this actually came from, right? We'll go to where that article that she's talking about is, okay? Okay, so here is the article that she is talking about, okay? She is talking about how he, came out and said that they would be as mandatory as they could be, okay? Their Prime Minister Morrison, okay? But now, what do you know? Now he's walking it back, Australia Prime Minister walks back CV vax comments after saying it should be mandatory. Well, of course you're going to make it mandatory. This is all just a big show, This is more of the world as a stage, right? Well, they said it one day, and now they're going to try to pull it back. It's all just back and forth, keeping you just as, confused and divided as possible. Because we know what it truly will be when it happens. It will be mandatory. There won't be a choice. Like he initially says, Morrison said a CV vax would not be compulsory. Earlier that day, he suggested there would be exemptions on medical grounds, but that should be it. The Prime Minister said he was aiming to get about 95% of the country vaccinated. We know that that's what this is about. Okay? Says Australia's Prime Minister Scott Morrison has backtracked on comments he made saying that he planned to make the CV vax as mandatory as possible. Can I be really clear to everyone? It's not going to be compulsory to have the vax, okay? Morrison said on Wednesday. Morrison thought there had been a bit of overreaction to the comments he made earlier the day when he stated that he expected to make the vax as mandatory as you can possibly make it. So I guess, do you believe him when he said it the first thing, or when he had time to think about it and was told, oh, that's not good PR, you better change what you said? Pretty sure what he said first is the truth. As mandatory as you can possibly make it, with all the force possible. Says he said there would be a lot of encouragement and measures to get as high a rate as acceptance as usual. That's why, just like in the United States, you're going to be hearing commercial after commercial, story after story, making these vaxes look great. Oh, definitely go and get the vax, and if you don't get it, they're going to make you look bad, okay? The next couple months, that is what you're going to see over and over again. I guarantee it. They've already come out and showed that and talked about how there's going to be a massive campaign to push these vaxes, okay? And I loved how he said this. Look at this, right? We can't hold someone down and make them take it. Really? Do you truly believe that he's saying this because he thinks they can't do it? Or do you think he's saying that because he knows that's exactly what they're going to do? Yeah, I agree with you. And check this out. Here's another article. Look at this. Australia considers mandatory CV19 vax for travelers entering the country. Does it not? I mean, is it not as clear as can be now that we see exactly where all this is leading like we said it was? It says Australia is the latest country to secure a supply of a vax for CV19 being developed by Oxford University and pharmaceutical giant AstraZeneca, and is considering mandatory vax for travelers crossing its border. And don't you love how they try to say that, oh, they secured a supply for this vax being developed? I mean, come on. How they say that is so ridiculous. Well, we have to have them secured, because if we don't, once they approve it, then everybody will be trying to buy it and then trying to get it, and then it will take months to get it delivered everywhere. Oh, man, it's just so pathetic. You have it ready. You have it made. You know, it goes on, says Prime Minister Scott Morrison on Wednesday said he had signed a deal which would make the vax free for the population to about 25 million people. When your government gives you something free, it's never for your own benefit. Says under this deal, we have secured early access for every Australian. Said if this vax proves successful, we will manufacture and supply vaxes straight away under our own steam and make it free for 25 million Australians. Morrison initially said it was likely that vaxes would be mandatory and that the government policy was still being worked on. Speaking on the radio station, he said vaxes would be as mandatory as you could possibly make it. There are always exemptions for any vax on medical grounds, but that should be the only basis. Later he backtracked it. Yeah, exactly. When say it would just they would take measures to encourage citizens to be vaxxed. Well, what is that? What are your measures that you're going to take to encourage your citizens to be vaxxed? Yeah. I'm pretty sure you should have just stuck with what you said to start with, because you're going to make them mandatory. But we'll leave it here. I want to get this video edited, get it out to you, and try to start working on a couple other videos for you. I hope everybody's having a good day. Continue to try to just stay in a high spirit the best you can. I know that times are hard. We're struggling. Everybody is fighting for everything. And it definitely can become, a downer to see this kind of stuff every day. Trust me, covering every day isn't easy. It's hard to see it. It's hard to, see the light at the end of the tunnel. But as long as you have your faith and you have, the one only truth, the only way, Jesus Christ, you will be all right. So like I tell everyone, if you have not asked for forgiveness, please hit your knees, because truly right now we are running out of time. I'm not trying to push faith on anybody. I just don't know how I could ever do what I was doing without my faith. I know I couldn't do it. So I'm just so happy that I did, that I am choosing the way that I am. And I know you would never regret it if you did, ask Jesus to be your Savior. So. But we will end it here. I love you all. Continue to stay safe. Pray against this every day. Tell your families everything that's going on. Spread this information and make a plan with your family, please. You may not have time to make one in a week or two. Make a plan tonight. Make sure everybody knows where they're going, what they're doing. We'll talk to you soon. God bless.